Today I'm making a video showing how to replace the radiator on a 2014 Volkswagen Passat. First thing you want to do is pull this air boot off from the top here. You can push in those little 3 clips and pull that right off. And then up top, just kind of release that. And then this whole thing just pulls straight up out of there. Just kind of pulls out of the air box at the bottom, and then you can grab that out. Get that out of the way. And then use a T25 to pull this screw here and this screw here, and then you can pull this little air duct off of the core support. Alright, now with that out of the way, get a T30 and remove this screw here for the fan. Now on the other side, the same thing, this little T30 here. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can unclip this radiator hose and just put a bucket or a drain underneath the car if you already have the belly pan off. I don't. And then you can just pull this away, and then it's easier to get to that screw. But either way, it's not bad, so I'm going to pull those two off. Remove the belly pan now. So T25 for these screws on the edges, and then T45 for the back 3. So underneath, you're going to want to release this electrical connection for the fan here. So push up on this red tab, and then you can get underneath this with the pick, or just push it in. It's nice, you're actually less likely to break it like this, or with a little flat blade screwdriver, pushing up on it a little and then separating it. And then you can pull that right off. I got that. I gotta use both hands for this. Whatever the case, once you push in the little tab with one hand right here, you just pull the plug off, and then then you can get to the screws right behind it. The one screw here, it's a T30, same as on the other side, and then there's a T30 right up here as well, right there. So with those two out of the way, you can take this whole fan and just slide it straight down out of here. It's not too bad. You can just wiggle it right out. If you need a little bit more room, you can pull this hose off here for the intercooler, but those fit out pretty easily. So I'm going to undo this plug, undo those 2 screws with a T30 bit, and then just pull this fan straight down. Just kind of wiggle it around a little. You can get that side to come down first. It seems like a better idea. And then this whole thing fits right through. And there it is. So with that out of the way, you can see the T30s that mount this are right there. There's one. Looking at the new one, it makes it a little bit easier, but what I like to do now is drain all of the coolant out. So put some kind of a drain buffer underneath, lower the car back down and do it from the top, and then undo the lower radiator hose right here, and then let all the coolant drain out. Looking at the new radiator, you can see where all the mounts are. It's all from the inside, pretty easy to get to. There's one there, there's one there. You know, there's just the 4 of them, and those are all T30 screws that you're going to use to get to that too. So I usually use a short extension, maybe a 2-inch extension, and I can get right in there. So that's what I'm going to do next. Drain all the coolant out, undo those 4 screws, and then the radiator comes out the same way. It comes out the bottom. So I'll show you what that looks like. These work pretty well to release the little spring clips on the hoses. Just a seal pick, and then you can kind of just pull these away. Don't worry too much about damaging your radiator that you're replacing. Sometimes getting a little pry bar in here and just putting a little bit of tension on the fitting and then kind of wiggling it with your other hand is a good method too. You can even spray penetrating oil on it if you need to. And the 2 screws are easiest to get to from the top for the radiator mount. So right here, that one, and then underneath this, once this is out of the way, you can see there's another one right here, and then kind of lift it up and do the same thing you did with the fan, release the other 2, and then the whole radiator will be loose once these 2 hoses are off. So pretty easy job actually. You can just grab that radiator pretty well right out of there. So I'm going to do that now. With those 4 mounting screws loose and out of there. So now it's actually easier on this one, I think, to pull it from the top. So you can just kind of wiggle the whole radiator straight up out of here. So stick the new one in the same way, put everything back the way you had it, and a pretty easy radiator job. You don't have to remove the front bumper or anything like that for this one. So real nice. Thanks for watching.